Hello, welcome to the Always Be Comedy podcast. Our guest today is the great Eric Rushton. Tim, we don't know Eric that well compared to other acts, purely by virtue of the fact that Always Be Comedy's been going for 15 years. We've probably only known Eric a year or two.
Yeah.
Eric's listening to this. He's going to be going, where are you going with this? Eric, I'm twisting it to a huge compliment. Tim, there's few people we vibe with on the podcast to the extent, and I may have said this before, if there were more hours in the day, if Tim, Eric, and myself could do a weekly podcast together, and it's just the three of us chatting. Look, you listeners shooting themselves, but we would love it because I find Eric really easy to chat with. Also, what Eric will often do is, and Eric, I really like you, and I say this with love in my heart, but it took Eric, because I think one of the reasons we like Eric is he's a self-deprecating boy.
Right, yeah.
And it took Eric 50 minutes to talk about his new show, and he kept deflecting. He's like Joe Root, he knows when to leave one. And so we'd ask him a question and he would deflect it back to us, or we'd ask another question and then he'd ask us a question. And then I looked at my clock and I think we're on about the 50-minute mark when Eric finally started talking about his show. Tim, very likable. He's got that. If he was a comedian, there's a Shane Meadows-esque energy there. You know what I mean? He's a cool indie guy. There's a Vicky McClure, Joseph Gilgan. As I say, Shane Meadows' sensibilities there. Timo, for a few gigs, I was wearing I've got this Adidas Jude Bellingham tracksuit top. I love this top so much, and I always say to Tim, I look like I'm dressed like Eric Rushton.
Yeah,
he's a cool. Eric's a cool dude, isn't he? Hang on, I'm not. When I wear that, I wish I was cool like Eric, but I'm not.
Cool guys only.
Cool guys only.
I think, considering Eric, like, he's a very unassuming man, but he has a look. It is impressive that he's still pretty early into his career, really, and he's sort of got. I can tell you exactly what he's going to wear. He's got a style. It's great, and I think it's a great style. Eric Rushton, yeah, he's brilliant. We really, really like him. Also, I think the pre-record chat was one of those where it just went on and on because we were just having a lot of fun. But yeah, a wonderful man.
Tim, our pre-record chat went on for 50 minutes just now.
Yeah, it did. It did, absolutely. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Hashtag male mental health. Eric Rushton could well be in. It's not taken us 50 minutes to get there. No. It literally has actually. Eric Rushton could well be in. This is, Tim, this is going to please you. 2:55 in the afternoon.
Lovely. Look, it's unlikely people are going to be drunk. Look, maybe on Saturday.
That's not a challenge.
Maybe on Saturday. Yeah, it's not certainly not a challenge. It's 2:55. Look, you've had lunch. Lunch is settling in well. You don't need your dinner. You're focused completely on the comedy. At 3:00. Lovely time at the Monkey Barrel 2, which is one hell of a venue. It's really good, and I think you have a great time. He's really got his own thing going on.
Yes, he has. Yeah, well,
yeah. I have no idea if he's doing crowd work in the show or not, but his crowd work's always really interesting and unique as well. I really, really like Eric Rushton. One of the great debut performances of recent years, that Always Be Comedy, I thought.
Total agreement. I think there's a buzz about Eric.
Yeah.
My cousin Stephanie, she's asked for Edinburgh recommendations. Tim, I know that we will do that episode.
Yeah.
That will be coming soon. But I think we can both safely say Eric Rushton, if you could make an Always Be Comedy stamp, we would actually talk a bit about that, don't we? Anyway, the thing with Eric is the chat with him is so effortless that there's a couple of times where the little voice in my head went, "Oh, hang on, we're doing a podcast and people will listen to this."
Yeah.
So it gets a bit gossipy and so on.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It does. But anyway, we'd stick an Always Be Comedy stamp on Eric Rushton. We think he's a really funny boy. He's a very quick boy, and he's also a brilliant writer. You don't win the Sean Lock Award for nothing.
No, I'm going to say shades off Josh Pugh, who he is good friends with, and you can sort of, that makes a lot of sense when you know that.
Yes, here we go. Eric Rushton returns with a stand-up hour on dating, depression, and darts. There you go.
Oh yeah, forgot about the darts stuff. Lovely. Yeah, really nice.
So we do need to get Eric back at Always Be Comedy, and we will get Eric back at Always Be Comedy. In fact, I've set a challenge for myself. By the time this episode comes out, that Eric Rushton, there'll be some dates in with Always Be Comedy. In the meantime, please visit alwaysbecomedy.com/tickets. The other day, I read out how many Always Be Comedy shows were on sale. Right, it's gone up to 110, and we're about to add 3 more shows. We're about to add 3. Here you go, guys. 3 Harry Hill Work in Progress shows are about to go on sale. So that's about to jump up to 113. Good Lord. So keep an eye out for those. They're going to be in November. We've not put them on sale yet, but keep an eye out. Timo, we've just added a Phil Wang Work in Progress this Friday, 6:15 p.m. And if you want to do the double, so it's Friday the 17th of July, Henry Packer's final preview with us, Friday the 17th of July. Jesus wet! That is a strong Friday.
That's incredibly strong. Incredibly strong Friday. I think Phil Wang, in terms of like pure stand-up comedy, I think Phil Wang is properly up there in this country. I think he's completely brilliant, and I think he gets better. I genuinely think he gets better and better. And Henry Packer is doing stuff with the form that I've not seen anyone ever do, and it's so cool to see. He's brilliant.
Two giants. Another totemic presence this Thursday. The great Janine Haroni, just before she performs a show for a thing. I think we've already spilled the beans on a previous episode. But she needs to run through a full show. And it's this Thursday. And hang on, an alarm's going off. Is it our car? Our car is not in the drive. Hopefully it wasn't our car. I think my wife's at work. Hang on, that sounds awful. Sometimes, it depends where she's working. She's a Pilates instructor. Sometimes she drives. Sometimes she walks or gets public transport. Janine Haroni, this Thursday, Timo, tickets are just £8.
Oh, yeah.
Full show run through.
There's a show which did very, very well. Now, I think it might have been nominated for the Edinburgh Comedy Award. I think. Either way, she is an Edinburgh Award nominated comedian. She's properly brilliant. She's just, I think, in lovely form, and just she's smashing it right now. Delighted to have her do this show actually with us. I think that's really cool.
Brilliant. Rhys James, Chop Logic, 28th of July. There's loads of shows. Our Here Shot, an actual Edinburgh winner. 27th of July. That's his new show from former Edinburgh champ, Our Here Shot. For these and many more, please visit alwaysbecomedy.com/tickets. In the meantime, here he is, the great Eric Rushton. Yeah, so when they do the overlap on tour, they do a thing for Sky. And so we recorded. I say we, like I'm part of the boys, I'm going to say with we. So
you can say we. You are part of the boys.
So they recorded 6 episodes for the TV show. It's called The Overlap on Tour. I can't remember which place it was in Manchester, because I've done warm up at a few different studios. This was sort of more like a theatre space. Yeah, but it was pretty special actually. I've got this quite a good. We can keep this in or take it out if it's not that funny.
No, I'm interested.
But this is quite a good. Like Roy Keane famously doesn't like people bothering him or small talk or anything like that.
Yeah,
but I've daydreamed if I was to bump into Roy Keane, I do have a legitimate in, and this is what happened. So I do the warm up, and then you get the guys on. Kelly Cates is hosting it. She's obviously a legend, and then we take a break, and then we come out for the second section, and I'm doing crowd work. and there's a little girl in the crowd. I probably won't use a real name, but let's say she's called Jennifer, right?
Yeah.
And I go, if anyone's flagging, there's a bag of Haribo, right? And Jennifer's mum is pointing, and I go, oh, what's your name? Jennifer. Guys, round of applause for Jennifer. So you got like 2,000 Man United fans in their 40s and 50s all applauding for Jennifer. And I think I do the full thing, Jennifer. It's lovely. And I go, Jennifer. Question I often ask a kid if I'm doing crowd work: what would you like to be when you're older, right? And if it's a boy, it's usually a footballer. The girls give better answers, usually doctor, prime minister. I remember one little girl, what do you want to be when you're older? She said a castle. It's wholesome stuff. So I go, Jennifer.
Did you explain why that wasn't feasible?
No. Let her dream. Anyway, Jennifer, what would you like to be when you're older? A police officer, right? This girl would have been 6 years old, tops. 1,000 Man U fans. Boo! Boo! Right? They're obviously doing it like, panto. Yeah. Boo! They know what they're doing. Boo! And then it means that I can do this mock outrage. God, that's a child! You're booing a child! How can you boo Jennifer? Boo! This is unbelievable, and it's all, But anyway, nevertheless, these Man U fans in their 40s and 50s, 1,000 have booed this little girl, Jennifer. She gets the Haribo. I get the guys on. Anyway, they're recording the episode. There's like some sort of viewer question. My wife's about to give birth. What should we call our child? And so each of the overlap boys have an answer. And then it gets to Roy Keane. And Roy Keane looks over at this little girl and he goes, Jennifer. I like the name Jennifer because that's the name of my granddaughter. And it's the first time I've ever heard 1,000 men shit their pants. You could 1,000 rectums sort of like squeezed in on themselves as they realised that they'd offended. But he will to this day. I imagine he doesn't. He will not know to this day that what happened there.
Did any? Yeah. Do you feel? How nervous do you feel for those shows? Or you're just a pro. You just take it in your stride. I know you're very accomplished. They're my heroes. I know they're not watching, maybe, or maybe they're.
I think it's like good nerve. I think it's good nerves. Yeah, you know what? You're right, because obviously they're not watching. They're chatting with each other, waiting to come on. But in your mind's eye, they're like players in the tunnel. Watch it, Yeah. I want to do well in front of Jamie Carragher. You know what I mean? So it's just being a human kicks in, I suppose.
And also, Roy Keane's not forgiving as well. Like. He's famously, that's his job. He should make people laugh. When I've had a bad gig, I want someone to be like, well, it's a very hard profession. It's difficult. You tried your best. He didn't mean for them to all hate you, but he's not going to feel like that.
And also, if you smash the gig, what's he going to say? What's his catchphrase on the overlap?
Well, that's his job.
That's his job. Yeah. That's his job to warm them up. He's a warm-up. Clues in the title. Yeah. He was doing it again when they were praising Jude Bellingham. And someone said he cleared it off the line. This is off the back of the Mexico match that I didn't stay up for, as we've established in the chat. But Roy Keane you could see he was that close to saying that, to bringing out the catchphrase. That's his job.
I love the little glint. I love that he does everything a little bit knowingly now, though, as well. There's a glint in his eye when he
100%. Tongue is lodged in cheek.
But I love that. I think sometimes people see it as a bit fake or a bit of a cat, but it's sort of part of this like theatre of. They all know their roles. Ian's going to be overly enthusiastic, and Roy's going to be grumpy.
There was an episode recently where
rude to Jill. It's great.
Who's going to be rude to Jill?
Roy. He always does like a kind of, I hate you, but they love each other really.
Yeah, I think you can tell that there's love between him and Jill.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I mean. It's very. It's very affectionate, but he does a kind of pretend like put downs to her.
What's your favourite out of all of them? Out of all the football pods out there?
Well, that is my favourite, and also the reason I brought up, maybe you brought up Stick to Football, but I was thinking just before this, I get nervous for these things. I'm nervous right now. Not that nothing to do with you. You're very welcoming host. You're very very easy to talk to. I feel like you'll take the reins if I stumble. I was thinking this. I don't want this to be a Sol Campbell episode of
Oh,
Always Be Comedy.
my
I was just thinking.
God.
I was thinking about the questions, which are brilliant questions and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, oh, am I that good at like expanding on stuff? I've got like, oh, I like that person, and in my head, I envisioned because when he's like, they're asking him about his transfers, and he's like, oh, yeah, I thought about going to Forest after that, and they were like, why? And they're like, I don't know, really. Were they in for you? No, I don't know, not really. Just fancied Forest, and then that was the end of the question, and pretty much the whole interview was like that.
And then what was it was a bit snide in that the following episode they had someone on who they did get on with, and then they did, for whatever reason, they didn't give a great answer for one question, and then Carragher said something like,
"Yeah,
you're worse than Sol," which was
oh. So I'm worried about next episode saying you're worse than Eric.
You're worse than Eric. Hey? The regular viewers will know what that's a reference to. Yeah. I just felt with Sol, and it was, look, it was a challenging listen. I just think it was just a vibe thing, wasn't it? He just wasn't on the same wavelength as them,
Yeah,
I think Gary tries.
It was all right. I love Gary tries.
Yeah, Gary really tried to match his frequency. I mean, like, fair play. I've seen seasoned TV interviewers not make that much of an effort, but Gary really tries to reach out. Unfortunately, it was just, you could tell within about 5 minutes, this is going to be they're all on a different wavelength here.
Yeah. Have you seen, I think it's Jacob Hawley and the other guy on his podcast do an impression of the overlap, the sort of bit at the start where
do you like hobnobs? That sort of thing.
Yeah, righty, do you wear socks? Has anyone ever done that? That's the real where he's got a custard cream and he's dunking it into a tea. Has anyone ever done that?
And what's that lad called? Is it Andy Cantwell?
Yes.
You seen his video about? That's a good video of that.
They're the best. He's
and it cuts to Andy Cantwell like he's holding a biscuit and a cup of tea. And he's like, "What? Huh? Have you ever done that? A cup of tea? Oh my God! This is a deep cut within a deep cut. Have you seen the podcast where they've got the wrong Cantwell on the show?
No, what?
They've got Andy Cantwell's brother on, and they ask him a question. Oh, your videos that you've done about the overlap. And the other Cantwell goes, "You mean my brother Andy?"
Oh wow! I've not seen. I didn't. Who's his brother then? How did they get his?
I think the brother is. I only know Andy through watching his videos.
Yeah, same.
But I think from the way the brother's talking, it sounds like the brother might be a more established stand-up than Andy, because I think the other brother says something like, I'm paraphrasing, basically like, "I've been a comedian for many years." And I think it's the first time that someone's got him confused with Andy or some such.
Oh,
but a producer must have been watching that like, we've booked the wrong guy. I remember. I wonder if anyone else remembers this. This is random. BBC News. They were discussing racism in football, and they got Mickey Thomas, the former Wrexham midfielder. And if I was a gambling man, and I'm not. If I had to put money on, I think they were supposed to get Michael Thomas, the former Arsenal player.
Oh man! And they just sort of, what did he say? They just
sort of like muddle through it. But
was it live?
I think it's live. But I think that's.
So I was going to say at that point, just cancel the.
It might be pre-social media, so because that is sort of thing that would have blown up, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But you've got Mickey Thomas. I mean, God love him, talking about racism, mate.
Yeah.
It'd be like having me on to talk about perms. I'm just not the right booking for that chat.
I remember Soccer AM once booked Sean Williamson when they meant to book Sean Gota.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I'm serious. And they made a big joke of it, at the time. But I don't think it was like a gag. I think they genuinely were supposed to book Sean Gota.
Oh, and then there's the famous Radio 5 clip, mate. This might be the most famous of the lot. They think they're talking to former Scotland international Tom Boyd, and they've got the former Wide Awake Club kids TV presenter Tommy Boyd. I bet you can find it. And so they're going, so then Tom, will you be watching the England-Scotland match, and Tommy Boyd, the former, the Wackaday guy's like, yeah, probably have it on. And then the more they're talking and they're realizing that he's got a very English accent, and then Ian Payne has to be like, anyway, look, we'll leave you to it.
How does that happen? Because obviously it's a producer's mistake.
I think someone's got this. This was like late 90s, early noughties, and it would be very analog. So I think, because I was a sports writer for a long time, you've got a contacts book, alphabet. Yeah, but Boyd. Yeah, I've got Tommy Boyd. Yeah.
But surely someone goes to Tommy Boyd, his PR or something, and they're like, they want you to talk about the England-Scotland match, and he goes, I think you go direct.
I think you go direct back then,
But even then, there's a pre-chat, right? Where they're like, this is what we want to talk about.
Oh, I mean, it's a shocker.
Yeah.
if you can find it, if someone's shared the audio clip, it's a real gem.
Have you ever booked anyone by mistake on this? You wouldn't admit it, though, I suppose, if the episode.
No, we would.
On the podcast, I don't think so.
Oh no! You booked someone for a gig, but
no, we did this, and I'll take the blame on this one. We recently, so we have like a Google Calendar. So, for example, 10 a.m. Eric Rushton.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And then this happened a couple of weeks ago. I've put in the calendar podcast 10 a.m. and I've not put a name. And what I've done is I've booked 2 different guests at exactly the same time. So we're interviewing someone, and then we're getting an email saying, "Oh, I'm ready when you are." And we had to.
Yeah.
It was the most groveling. It was.
Which could you not just add them both in? I'd feel so relieved. I don't know why I'm making this out like this podcast is so intense. If another comedian dropped in now. I'd still be in it because I've still done like my duty and that, and I can still answer the questions. But I'm like, okay, this person can take any time I drop the ball. This person can take the reins for a little bit. That's so much easier.
I think I would like to think there's not a lower stakes podcast than this one. It's not like off menu where like, a good performance on off menu can like it can transform a career.
Yeah.
I get why people are
listening. This could change your life.
Honestly, I could be doing a written interview with Fringe Mumble, and I'd hope it's a joint with another comedian.
Right, fine, okay. A written interview with Fringe.
I don't even know how that would work. It'd be like Eric's answer, whatever. James Kill's answer.
CC'd in.
Yeah.
Do you not think this is so snide? Do you not think when some people put quotes on a poster and it's something like I love giggywigs.com. You're like, come on, mate. It'd look better if you didn't have a quote on.
Yeah, but I agree and disagree because I think
go on.
I think they're all bullshit, really. So it's just like we've just put certain ones on a pedestal, and really, I love the Fringe and giggles.com. It's fine, isn't it? I agree, but because we know.
You're right. I'm putting because it's sort of like I'm saying that their opinion's more important than I love giggywigs.com.
I think it's all just a bit of nonsense, isn't it? Really, but I do know what you mean. Everyone's had that, but I think that as well. Like the public don't know. Maybe the ones where the website's like, I think they can tell that website's not. Obviously, like the newspapers, everyone's like, oh, the Guardian or whatever, or the Times, but like the comedy websites, I don't think the audiences have heard of generally.
There's that. I used to get Private Eye when I was a much younger man, but I do remember. I think because they call out the bullshit when people have twisted quotes for their posters and stuff, and I think the best one I can remember. Giles apparently he's a lovely bloke, so I'm sorry. But Giles Brandreth had got quite a kicking in, I think it was the Telegraph. And it's something like, if puerile, immature comedy is your thing, then book now. And then for the poster quote, in the biggest font you've ever seen, book now! The Telegraph.
That's great. To be honest, I think the full quote is pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
For some people, that will be their thing. And
Do you remember what was that? Tom Hardy Cray movie?
Legend.
Oh, the 2-star.
Yeah.
So good.
Really good.
Why are people so mean though?
Oh, I mean,
why are they so fired up about it?
Totally.
I've had like average. I've not had a real
We
pasting, I don't
both
think,
read
but,
a
like,
review. We read a review yesterday. I won't say what for, and it was so mean spirited.
Yeah,
And you could tell that the person writing it was, there was almost like a gleeful menace to it. Oh, you fucking have that. You
Delighted
Yeah.
they didn't enjoy it. Yeah.
delighted that they didn't enjoy it.
exactly. I don't know, and I maybe it's probably like defensive as a comedian, but I always just think you probably can't do it, mate. You know what I mean? Like you'd be terrible. And it's kind of the same with football as well. Like when people are like, "Oh, he played awful. He's so bad." That play, it's like this isn't an elite professional player. You're bad at football.
This person has been an elite player for 20 years of their life.
Yeah.
I remember. I think Lloyd Griffith said, probably want this repeating, but he was like, reviews they're sort of irrelevant now in a way that they weren't. In the 1980s and 90s.
Yes.
A good review. I read Craig Ferguson's autobiography, and he got like quite. I think he got like a 3-star. It was like a good review. It wasn't like amazing, but he said this good review. His Edinburgh show went from like one man and his dog to people like snaking around the block.
Yeah.
And that's not that. Or like was it the New York Times could make or break a theatre run or whatever. But I just don't think it's not the case anymore.
That's what I feel. It's more of an aid now. It can add a little bit. That's what I think. Just use the fake ones. I mean, they're not fake, but like use the dodgy ones if you want.
There was that great story, wasn't there? Was it the agent that had set up hang on, better be carefully. It was alleged that a certain person working in comedy may or may not have been affiliated with a website that wasn't 100% kosher, and then
that was a good time. Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that? I mean, that was
not that long ago.
Yeah, I know, but yeah,
it would be like us saying, like, we're not going to do this, but us, Eric, if you do our podcast, you'll get you can put 5 stars, always be comedy on your poster. It's, I don't know. Maybe that sort of thing has always gone on.
It's corrupt. The whole thing's corrupt, mate. It's like FIFA. The big websites are corrupt. They're they're going to all the parties and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They're trying to be cool. Everyone's just trying to be cool and liked and feared, and this is bullshit, man. This whole thing we're doing.
We're raging against the machine, man.
What do you think's the lowest stakes podcast, and what do you think's the highest stakes podcast? There is lower than this.
Stakes.
There's
what
lower
I mean
than
is,
this, obviously.
I think
I think this is a great podcast. I mean, you said that.
No. Sorry, I'd just like to explain what I meant by that in terms of people being relaxed. That's what I meant.
No.
I don't want. I mean, look, obviously, of course, this will change your life. But
I would put it firmly on me.
But we don't want anyone to be like, before they log on, like biting then a Mickey Mouse in a Disney cartoon. It's like eating a corn on the cob. We don't want anything like that. The highest stakes. Has to be off menu, surely.
For a comedian, but I suppose
I think there are now too many
Parenting Hell.
Too many podcasts. I don't know if this is dangerous. I don't know if any of them make as much difference as they used to.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know if I necessarily want this going out, but I
also
because I mean,
off menus presumably. Sorry to it.
No, please.
I imagine their audience are quite nice. Is that
yeah?
Right. So I think if you had like an average one, maybe they would, but I don't think you'd get a pasting like stick to football. Maybe it's stick to football. You'd get clipped up forever about how bad it was and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is a snide fan base or potential.
Do you know what? You're both 100% correct. Because Sol. Yeah. Some of those clips went fully viral, didn't they?
We watched one at Tommyfield,
Yeah, we did actually. We did. We're part of the problem.
Sorry.
we shouldn't have shared it. No, we didn't. We didn't share it.
What do you mean? It was on.
Someone's recently done a supercut of how bad it was. Because obviously the interview was like a good few months ago, but this is like the past few days that someone's done this, and the bit about where he completely contradicts himself. I might have this the wrong way around, but at one moment he said, when he was a young player, young players simply were not getting the breaks, and then I think it's like 30 seconds later, and obviously, back then there were so many young players.
Yeah.
God bless him. God bless him.
Well, he's a good guy, probably. Maybe he's a bad guy. I don't know.
Some people just need an arm around the shoulder.
Yeah, I think I'm an arm around the shoulder comedian.
I'm an arm around the shoulder comedian.
I'm a confidence player.
I think I'm a confidence tech, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
But with Tim, I'd say we're often the ones putting the arm around the shoulder.
I think we're very good. I'd like to think we're very good at supporting each other. Yeah.
Yeah. This seems like. Also, you seem very consistently jovial. It always feels like it doesn't. I feel like even your gigs don't feel high stakes, even though they are.
Yeah.
Or like they're very. They're seen as like big gigs in the comedy industry, I would say. But I feel like once you get there, when you've got it in, you're like, I'm doing always big comedy, but it feels lower stakes when you get there. Does this sound like a compliment or a
no? I'm taking this in the spirits inside. We want the podcast to be like the gig in that regard. We want people to feel relaxed and all of that. Because when we first get, when you first get into comedy and you hear about certain gigs where I'm not going to name names, but like if you're booked for a 20, if you go 30 seconds over your 20, then the owner will tell you off.
Yeah.
What? Who's doing their best work under those conditions?
I hate feedback.
A mate of mine said he was a new act. He didn't put the mic stand back in like the most perfect position in the middle. Well-known MC, fucking berated him into the mic because they had to put the mic back.
I hate rules. I don't know. Some people have like really stringent rules, or like you shouldn't do this, you should do this, or you should never like have paper on stage or whatever. I'm just like, just do whatever if it's all right.
Anyway, Eric Rushton could well be in the new Fringe show.
Oh yeah, we're moving back on track to.
Well, Tim, that was very good.
Nice.
So, Eric, talk us through the new Fringe show.
Well, I've got a story about. No. Yeah, the Fringe is how many? Sorry, I'm such a deflector. And this is maybe bad that I don't know. Did you used to do the Fringe solo shows and stuff like that, or?
So I did the Fringe a couple of times. I did. I emceed a mix. I know I emceed a couple of mixed bills.
Yeah.
I did a split bill, and I did an evening mixed bill 2 years. And what happened was that I did a day mixed bill myself, Jonathan Bentarter, Dylan Bray, and it went so badly that the other two quit comedy. And
oh wow!
It was a nightmare. And
is this a story you've already told?
No, I don't think I've ever told the story.
What was it so bad?
Jonathan Bentarter, I think, is, and I've been asked who's the comedian that when you were doing it that you wish was still doing it, and it was Jonathan Bentarter because he had something, and he was sort of like a furious Jack D. You couldn't tell what was real and what was an act. But even on the open mic circuit, this is absolutely true. He had people find out where he was gigging, and they would come. When does this happen on the open mic circuit?
That's awesome, yeah.
So he would have people come see him on the open. He was really good, but he was very headstrong. You won't mind me saying that. But anyway, he had this idea. I'm not blaming him. He had a friend of his or a relative was a big branding expert. And the great idea was to think outside the box, and instead of booking a Fringe venue, we book something that isn't in the Fringe program or something like that, and we booked this jazz bar. Okay. And we thought that the thinking was, we're thinking so outside the box that we'll become the talk. These mavericks are the talk of the Fringe, right? And we'd had like creative meetings about the poster, and the poster was like like one of these Crime Watch reconstruction faces where it's like they've used the photo identikit photo. So it was my flat cap, Jonathan's forehead, Dylan's eyes, Jonathan's nose, my mouth, Jonathan's chin. Now that works well if it's really well-known people. So if it was like Harry Hill's glasses, Bill Bailey's beard, you've got, there might be Stuart Lee's hair and so on. That's going to work. But when you've got three total unknowns, so if you saw that poster, you'd be like, I don't know who or what this is.
Yeah.
And what happened to me is I started really well, and the first couple of shows I had really good gigs, and then the numbers dwindled. I got in my own head, and the last few I was dying so hard. I had a blood relative, come to one of the shows. I've never met this woman before or since. She must have been, I think she was like my granddad's cousin, and she came and watched me play to Pin Drop Silence in this jazz bar. There were about 7 people there, and she came up to me afterwards and she went, "That was a really hard watch." And then she left. And then
Why did she say that?
Because it was.
No, what? No, I know, but you come.
But wait for it. She's now probably dead. God bless her. So my only interaction with this family relative is her watching me die on my hole in a poorly populated jazz bar. Her saying that was atrocious, and then that was that.
Yeah, but if you could see those awards behind you now. You know what I mean?
Imagine on a subconscious level that I've just put them up for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Eric. I found it a really scarring experience, and I know I'm just not mentally strong enough for it. And
it's hard, isn't it? Yeah.
I was seeing this mixed bill, and there was one night we'd had it was a daytime show. Anyway, we'd had a really good gig, and a reviewer was in, and then this review came out, and it was like objectively, unequivocally a really good gig, and we just got. I just remember taking this absolute shoeing, and we were all like, "What?" And anyway, I
know that's what I hate about reviewers and stuff like that. It's too. I probably hate my own weakness to it, because I could have mainly good ones and then one bad one, and I'm like, I'll just believe that that's true. I don't even know if I believe that it's true, but I'll choose to hate myself through the lens that they're seeing me through, all the things they hate about my act, and then I think it can. Why can't they just say it's not for me? I don't know.
Just say that,
and maybe especially when the ones where it's really annoying when it goes well with the crowd. Just admit that it went well with the crowd. Just like.
And there's one comedian in particular. I probably shouldn't say it because it was a private chat. He said the gig is whether you like it or not. The roof has come off the joint for an hour, and the review comes out. And you're like, come on, mate. They're trying to be smarter than the crowd sometimes as well. I think, like,
yeah, oh, absolutely. Like when people who are like objectively phenomenal club acts, and then it's like just did jokes for an hour, boring.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
If a footballer scores 5 goals in a match,
all
they did is fucking kick it in the goal. You know what I mean?
To be fair, people do that as well. It's the same in every industry.
The state of Haaland, don't
exactly.
They?
It's Haaland.
He doesn't do anything, but he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
But also, Eric, Jerry Seinfeld said something recently, and he said,
I love Seinfeld.
I prefer Seinfeld's wisdom than anything else written. I'm totally honest with you.
Oh, really? The sitcom's my favourite sitcom as well, but I love his wisdom.
So he said of Don Rickles and Rodney Dangerfield, he says they're sprinters. He says you like them in short bursts. He goes, you wouldn't want to sit through a full hour of Rickles or Dangerfield. And he goes, other acts, they work for the full hour and they don't work in shorter bursts. And that really resonated with me.
Yeah, that's good.
I know that I'm a sprinter. So, like, MC the gig last night for, I don't know why I'm name dropping. No, I'm not even going to name drop.
No, name drop, man.
No. Leicester Square Theatre for Stuart Lee, right?
Oh, thank you for leaving that out.
And it was great. And it was, Patty, obviously Stuart banged it out. Harry Hill's on. Keep dropping them, James. What, Sue Perkins? No, but it was great. And it was,
Usain Bolt holding it all together there.
Yeah. But you go home and you're like, yeah, I love emceeing, and if I did, I wouldn't want to sit through an hour of me.
Let's not that shouldn't be the test though, because I don't think I'm on my 5th hour, and I wouldn't want to for me either. But I want the audience to.
But yeah, I think you've got lots of deep and profound things to say, Eric.
Do you think so? I hope so. I don't know. Yeah, this is my 5th in a row. That's mental, isn't it? I've only just finished my tour, or finished it in June, and I was writing a bit, but now I'm kind of like really hammering out a show. I've got the concept and stuff. And there's, if anyone's listening to this, hopefully by the time you're at the Fringe, it'll be good and stuff. But
so lovely Streets reference. That's the title.
Yes, it's a reference. I thought the whole thing would be more of a reference to the Streets, but the way the writing's going, actually, maybe it's not. So I'm like, oh, I wish I called it something else. It's called Could Well Be In, which is in the Streets album. A Grand Don't Come for Three.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, it kind of will be. You know how do you like the Streets? Opinions on the Streets?
I'm seeing them do A Grand Don't Come for Free in 2 weeks.
I know. Where are you going? I wish I got tickets.
Ali Pali.
Oh, that's going to be so awesome.
I don't fucking be bothered, so you might be able to have my ticket. But
oh, really? What date?
Oh, the 18th.
Oh, I know this isn't an offer, but
I'll go. Anyway.
God, Tim, you absolute ticket tease.
Yeah, they're awful.
No, yeah, that got me really excited for a second.
I think Tim saw how excited you were and thought, hang on a minute, I don't want to miss this.
This gig does sound good.
Hang on, this gig sounds amazing. Oh, I've got a ticket. I'm going.
They've never performed it from start to finish before, I don't think.
No.
Really?
The album, yeah, because the whole album. What I love about the album is it's a story, but it's kind of like mundane but really heightened as well. He loses his. Do you know?
I do. Well, I'm old enough and bald enough to remember when that album first came out.
He loses his grand. He gets a girlfriend. They split
They
up.
break up because that's
he's on holiday, saying someone's fit, and he's already got a girlfriend. Empty cans at the end. He's all depressed, and then things work out. So I kind of thought, which is not untrue, but I kind of thought my show would be the rough structure of that album, where it's like having something, a bit of a relationship thing, and then a kind of ending where that's a bit more hopeful. So
hang on, this is a great idea.
Yeah, I'm sick, aren't I? No,
I'd want to sit through an hour of you.
Yeah. But yeah, but I think it's good to have something that is like a kind of mood board. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, this is. But then I'm writing, and I'm like, well, I think maybe I thought it is kind of like that, but I think I was going to be a bit more literal. Which is actually probably a bad idea. A bit more literal in the references, and like this routine maps onto that track, but through Eric Rushton. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's a bit more fluid. It starts with my mum. It's now become a lot about my mum. My mum bought me a dartboard about a year ago, and in real life, I was kind of what the hell? Why have you done this? And it sort of becomes a thing about Christmases and how my mum used to be this amazing gift giver. She made things happen for us. She was on benefits, but we'd still get like a PlayStation at Christmas. She'd figure it out. And I'm like sad that now she just thinks I'm some.
Was your mum a burglar?
Yeah. And now she just thinks I'm some bloke who likes darts, and I don't use the darts for ages, and then I get really depressed. And when I'm depressed, I set up the dartboard one day, and I just actually love darts. And it's like really calming, and then it's that, but sort of told through childhood and being funny as well.
That's great. Great.
Hang
on. By the way, I wasn't being. I was on free school dinners when I was a kid. I'm not trying to pour off, but I'm also saying when I said that about Eric's mum being a burglar, I didn't want you to think I was punching down. Just want to make that absolutely
clear. He was punching, but
it was a lateral
cross.
It was a lateral punch. I want you to know that it was a punch, but it was a lateral. It was a lateral punch.
You know what? We sort of got relegated into poordom.
Go on.
We were like when I was. We lived in like I'm one of 8 children, so a lot of it's about that as well. And we had quite like a big house.
It's a lovely way of finding out that you're a Catholic.
Well, no, the people always ask that. It's actually not. I think the reason is
Mum and Dad love shagging.
I don't even know if they did. I think obviously that is
Sorry, I just shocked myself.
and I just took it at like just that's obviously the mechanism for procreation, but I think it was maybe I'm talking for them. I don't know if my dad's passed away now, so I can't libel him or anything. I thought because their relationship wasn't great, but I think my mum just liked having kids as like saw that as like her purpose in life. So she's like, I'll have another kid, I'll have another kid, I'll have another kid. Where was I going with this? 8 children.
One of 8. You lived in a nice house, but then you got relegated.
Yeah,
you were Leicester City.
My dad was like self-employed, and then I think his business, wasn't very good. He was doing something with insurance, but I don't know what. I don't understand. And then they split up, and then my mum was on benefits, and we were gradually going down. We did a Leicester going down. We sort of moved to a smaller rental house, and then we couldn't afford that, and then we eventually got down to a council house out of town, playing in the Conference League. Sorry, the conference, not the Conference League, the conference.
So hang on, I'm trying to think which football team has done this.
Yeah, all the way down the divisions. Maybe
Notts County.
Maybe Wimbledon.
Sure.
Wimbledon.
Yeah, Wimbledon, and there was a divorce of sorts there with MK Dons and AFC. You're AFC Wimbledon.
Yeah, who's my NK Dons?
Well, if your parents broke up, maybe your dad is MK. Hang on, I'm really overthinking this.
No, I think it's good to get the analogy perfect. But yeah, we became gradually more and more poor. The free school meals. The reason you saying that reminded me of it. We qualified for them, obviously, but I was too embarrassed to claim them. But because in my school now they have like a fingerprint system at schools, because I've done like supply teaching and stuff, where like it's just how much money's on your account. No one knows who's on free school meals. You had to get to the front of the line, and they'd be like, £3 or whatever, and you say, oh no, I'm on free, and then they'd look at their list. I'm like, I couldn't do that stood next to someone who wasn't on free school meals. Do you know what I mean?
I would say quite a lot of the kids at my school were on them, so
yeah,
there was no shame.
Really? Yeah, I'd say it was a minority in mine. Sad, isn't it? Did you mind being on?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I was that age. I was just a lot of things. It's only when you look back, because if your childhood is, if your family, if there's enough love, I think it's fine. It's only when you look. I think it's only when you look back. Oh gosh, my mum's told us a couple of stories, and obviously at that age you wouldn't have a clue. And then when she tells you now, you're like, oh gosh, it's
yeah. I think that's true, but also at that time for me, people took the piss out of people on benefits a lot, and there was a lot of there was like Benefit Street and stuff on Channel 4 and stuff like that.
That whole thing.
It was like a
disgrace.
It was like a peak era. Yeah, it was a peak era of demonizing like poor people.
Yeah,
poverty.
Yeah,
porn.
and that's why. So I was like really embarrassed if anyone like would find out or something. Which maybe I didn't need to, but maybe I would. Maybe it would have been fine. But
and that whole thing, Broken Britain was like a punchline, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
Awful. What an awful era. And and also, let's face it. I'm not trying to paint myself as the new Mark Thomas or anything, but that was an era where the economy was fucked because of the global credit crisis of 2008, and then the blame was put on. Let's not blame the bankers. Let's blame quote poor people. I mean, it's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah,
absolutely awful.
Nish Kumar had that great bit about, and this is an old bit from like well over 10 years ago. Even the guys that had that cereal cafe, even they were like, do you remember like Channel 4 tried to paint them as the bad guys? And you're like, you can't. Not everything's their fault.
Yeah, they're good. They're good at the demonization, aren't they?
What, the media?
Yeah, the media.
How does it work? How does it work? It's not like, I don't think the newspaper editors are colluding. Surely the government aren't. I mean, I worked in newspapers, but I don't think like the government are saying, right, guys, let's not blame us. Let's blame people on benefits. I just wonder how these decisions are made.
Isn't it just like more likely to commission? They're owned by rich people, and more likely to commission things in their interest and stuff like that, or their
Sure.
mate. It's all mates and that.
Yeah, if you're a billionaire newspaper baron,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're not going to
And
go after
also-
your pals.
Also, there's that thing of it just like being when something's an easy solution, when there's someone to blame, people kind of like that. So people will watch a program about who's to blame.
Yeah.
Also, that era was mad for other stuff, like that wasn't really about blaming why everything's bad. That era was just like fat people on like this person's too fat. Here's a documentary about it.
Yeah.
Like so all those weight loss, super skinny versus super
Awful.
fat or something. That was mad. And they swapped diets for a week, which was like medically must be one of the most dangerous things.
Have you ever listened to the audiobook documentary Edge of Reality?
No, what's that?
Jacques Peretti made this documentary for Audible. I'm essentially begging anyone to listen to this. He says up top that he pitched it to the TV channels and they were like, "We are not touching that with a barge pole," because of the things that he says about the dark side of reality telly. It's 10 out of 10.
Oh wow. What's some of the key? I will listen, but
Well, there's quite a chilling suicide. Sorry, you're listening to the Always Be Comedy podcast. There's quite a chilling suicide rate with people that have done reality shows and then they're back to reality.
Yeah.
There's a lack of duty of care in a lot of instances, and like,
Yeah.
I think Jade Goody gets I think she's on an overseas Big Brother. I think it's India, and she gets a phone call while she's actually on Big Brother to tell her that she's got cancer.
ah,
Oh, my
Stuff
God.
stuff like that. So it's like,
Yeah.
where does it end? Like you watch the movie Running Man when you're a kid, the Schwarzenegger version, and obviously that's a pastiche, but yet the way that reality telly's gone, it is, I'm not the first person to say that, but there's got to come a point where someone goes, "We're going too far with this."
yeah. No, I agree. But then I also kind of love it sometimes as well. Like I really like, all or nothing, the football stuff. They're doing a Man United all or nothing next season. I'm like, that's gonna be great. I love cameras in places where they shouldn't be. That's not good. That's not a good quote.
Tim, just use that as a clip.
I love cameras where they
cameras.
shouldn't.
I
No, but you know, like
think-
dressing room access, and you're like, really? They should be private, and they shouldn't be aware that there's cameras there. That might change what the manager says and stuff like that. But when are we ever going to get to see that? I don't know.
You see that video from the other night where the England players wind up Thomas Tuchel that John Stones has injured his shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
So I loved it and I enjoyed it, but then I'm like, should that have been private? Because Tuchel's face is like, if
Yeah,
you've not seen it,
Yeah.
Declan Rice and John Stones are like, "Oh no, John, look at John's shoulder," and then Tuchel pulls this face as if to say, "Please tell me there's not another injury." And then it turns out it's just a prank, and it's just for the two of them to
yeah,
like do this. I'm not throwing my hands in the air. You're like
Yeah.
whoop whoop, and then to be
Yeah.
fair, Tuchel does this. It's good. It's a nice clip, but
it's right. Yeah.
yeah, the cameras are. It's all access at the moment. Do you see the Jude Bellingham clip with the Venezuelan lad in the wheelchair?
No, I didn't see that one. I don't think.
Venezuelan journalist in a wheelchair. England players walking past him, and he's shouting their names out because he's trying to get an interview with them. And they all they do walk past him, and you're like, "Oh, guys, why won't one of you stop to talk to him?" And then the guy, the Venezuelan, Bellingham. Jude Bellingham stops and chats with him.
Ah, he's a
And
good guy.
Bellingham chats with him. Speaking Spanish. If you didn't think you could love Jude Bellingham anymore, when you watch this clip, you'll go, "My love has somehow exceeded 100%."
Yeah, he's so good.
And then Bellingham, while he's been talking for a good few seconds, and it's only when he looks up that he realises he's being filmed. So what I'm saying is
Yeah,
that makes it even better, because it's not like he's going, "Time for me to look good because I know this is being filmed."
Yeah.
He's already said yes and has committed to the chat and the interview, and then he spots the camera.
yeah.
Surely he's your favourite England player.
Yeah, he probably Harry Kane though. Harry Kane's the leader.
For me,
You prefer Jude to Harry?
Oh, mate.
I like them, but I don't. You know, I don't.
There's other England players I like more than Harry Kane.
Is there Harry Kane?
For me,
man, he's the hero.
Jude is just another My love is on another dimension. I don't have them on
agree.
me, but a couple of Christmases when he first moved to Real Madrid, whichever Christmas that was, he'd not been there long, and my kid said, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I said, "There's one thing that I want for Christmas, and it's a Jude Bellingham keyring, and it's the back of the Madrid shirt. It's about that big, Bellingham 5."
No, he is great. You know, he's either equal or just below Kane for me. I think just because Kane's been doing it for longer as well, and if Kane, a striker, I love a striker, and if Kane, it feels like more towards the end of Kane's career as well, so I sort of want to win it for him. He might play in the next World Cup, but
it's unlikely, isn't it?
Yeah, Kane, it feels like Kane deserves to win the World Cup.
It doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't work like that, does it?
No, I know. But it would just be fitting. Whereas Jude, he's like 23. He could have like 4 more tournaments if he's like a crazy, if he ends up like Modric or something.
I think he takes great care of himself.
Yeah, so he'll be all right.
You've seen the video of the Norwegian lads teasing Haaland for drinking water?
Yeah, and he's like, they don't tease me when I score. Yeah.
Mate, the more videos I watch of Haaland, the more I'm all in on Haaland. I love him.
Yeah, I love Haaland.
I really turned the corner on him yesterday. I was like, I think I really like you.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Man United fan as well, but even I'm like, he's great.
He's genuinely funny, isn't he? He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is funny. And it just feels like he's not taking it too seriously, which is incredible.
He's not taking it too seriously.
But he's amazing. He's amazing, and he's not taking it too seriously, and he's at like a huge tournament. You know what that reminds me of? This is a compliment. Dan Tiernan, just incredible comedian. He just looks like he's always having fun. I'm sure he gets really stressed as well. But at the fringe, I'm constantly stressed, cloud over me. He'll just be like doing an amazing show and just like be getting the pints in after and stuff like that. And
yeah.
It's a great mindset. I wish I could relate to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we talk about this a lot, Tim, but like we had Judd Apatow down at Always Be Comedy. Like, if you're not enjoying that, what are you doing? And then Mike Wozniak, I think he thought that me and Tim were a bit more happy-go-lucky than we actually are. And then we said goodbye. Bye, Judd. Lovely to meet you. And then the door closed. And then the first thing I did was put both hands on my knees and like bent over double, like doing deep breaths, like as if to say, "God, thank God that's over." And Wozniak was like, "What?" But I wish I was more like Jude or Tiernan or Haaland.
Embrace it. Yeah.
I want to get through it and then enjoy it after. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's us. Yeah. Let's get through it and enjoy it after.
So for Rebooked, first question is your favorite act or acts to see in a green room.
Yeah, I've listed a few in my little notes app. Yeah. I think, well, the overall thing is someone that I'm really good friends with, which is maybe an obvious answer, but I'm a little bit shy in green rooms. I get quite stressed. It depends how nervous I am for the gig, I guess, but I sort of struggle a little bit with small talk in general, and that's not because I'm so deep or anything, but maybe I'm stressed about the gig and someone's like, so where were you last night and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know, like, good journey here, which is like, that's like being a normal human being having a conversation, but I'm stressed. So like a friend that understands my stress. So I've put a few. I've put Tom Towlin, who I believe you've had on your gig.
Oh yeah,
incredible comedian. One of my closest friends as well. He lives in Birmingham as well, and my friend Rachel Baker, who did a lot of tour support for me, and again, really close friend. Don't have to perform socially to these people. You don't have to perform socially to, which maybe is revealing that I probably have autism by using that phrrise. Alex Lowe.
Great pick.
Love Alex Lowe. Yeah, I did a lot of tour support for him, for Clinton Baptiste, and I feel like he's a bit of a sort of mentor-wise figure.
He's got good stories.
He's got good stories. He sometimes repeats them, bless him, but that's all right. He's told me about adverts he's done multiple times. He was in the McDonald's advert, you know. Many
Was he
years ago.
really?
Yeah, yeah, there's an advert where I think he's like a dad and they split up with the woman and he picks the kid up and the kid's like, oh, we had McDonald's, and then he takes her to McDonald's as well. It's good stuff.
I remember that ad, but I didn't know it was Alex.
That's Alex Lowe. Yeah.
Did he? I'm not asking you for a fee. I don't. We won't put his fee out. Did he? Did he tell you the fee?
No, he didn't. He's not braggy like that. I think he's a little bit.
Talking about adverts, you have to bring up your fee.
Yeah, because I think he's a bit embarrassed by money. Maybe not embarrassed, but like.
Well, what's happened to Alex is, and he won't mind me saying this, he's had this great flush of success with Clinton later in life. So it's all happened this past couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, he's been a jobbing actor for 20, 30 years. You know, he was in Kenneth Branagh's Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Much Ado About Nothing? I'm not sure it was that.
Yes.
With
Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, he's brilliant. He'd be brilliant in more stuff. And he's a brilliant performer and a brilliant comedian. I think more people, obviously he's having a lot of success, but I think maybe he's not, maybe he's is this, I don't know if this sounds rude, underrated in the sort of more the comedy sphere.
I would say it's all happening now.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Which is great.
I think we're all on the same page. We're all Team Alex.
Yeah.
But I won't want Alex to think, well, am I not getting the credit he's up? Whereas I think this past 2-3 years, tour after tour, he's the whenever one of his videos pops up on my algorithm and it's him on Chris Moyles or whatever, I'm always like, this is going to be 10 minutes of gold, and it always is.
And Barry from Watford is great as well. His other character, yeah.
He's got Eric. I know you've got this as well. He's got great stagecraft as well.
Yeah, he's got great stagecraft. I've put I don't have a specific person for this. There probably is someone, just someone that's just an act that maybe has recently got into bacon or something. Someone that's bringing snacks. This one that brings something to a green room.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's great. And then I've put, I don't know in this scenario if I'm just turning up and I don't know who's on. I've put Josh Pugh, Sam Campbell, because I'm I'm going to learn from the masters. Well, I'm excited to see their set. You know what I mean? Especially probably new material more than a gig where you have to do your established stuff. I'd see Josh or Sam doing new stuff. I find that really exciting.
Oh, but two off the very best to watch, just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Next up, best new acts you've seen recently.
Yeah, again, I've got a couple. I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know. Well, actually, only one's new. One, which again, you're going to be on the same page as if you've seen him, and he's not new. Tom Towling. He's not actually new. He's been going for a while, but I think he's only just started. He won the Sean Locke Award this year, and I think he's only just started maybe getting a bit more known in the circuit, or maybe the London circuit and the sort of industry type gigs. And he's just amazing. He'll come on and sing God Save the King with a loop pedal. I don't know if he did that at your set. And then he'll do weird sketches. He's got PowerPoint stuff. And he's quite different than what I do, but I find it inspiring that he's kind of I think he does, but is that thing of not worrying too much about the audience or reviews or something. He feels free, the stuff. I'm he's had this daft idea and he's just going to try it. And I feel like that's a good person for me to be around, because I'm a bit more self-doubt and I'm thinking of a new joke and I'm is that going to be shit? And where I think he's just a bit I don't know. He'll see a bin bag and think I'm going to do something with that bin bag on stage tonight. Do you know?
I'm very excited to see his debut. I think he's really it was what genuinely is one of the best debut sort of sets we've had in a long time.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Oh, wait, one more before that. A guy that I saw in Ireland when I did my tour there in Dublin, a guy called Cormac Sinnott. He's just I'm bad at describing, because he's probably more low status like me, or self-deprecating. So it's hard to describe one of those comedians without sounding
Yeah.
you're slacking about, he's kind of like, he's just this like little guy that's self-deprecating but then like will turn on the audience and stuff like that. He's great. It's so funny, amazing jokes.
It seems to be really cool.
It sounds like I'm slagging him off.
No, at all.
No, it doesn't.
This great guy. He's I think he's going to be very, very good in and very, very big in comedy if he carries on doing what he's doing.
That's great. I hadn't heard of him.
Right.
Yeah, recommend him for your gig as well if he's ever in London.
Lovely. Who is your favorite comedian who no longer does it?
This is sounding, like the Tom Towling show, but he used to be part of a double act called Good Kids with a guy called Kieran Ahern, and it's very much the sort of humour you see with Tom now, sketches and songs and stuff like that. But seeing them as a double act was amazing. I think they did I hope they don't mind me saying, I think they sort of did a Fringe once, and they just found it a bit of a grind, and then they stopped really doing stuff together. And they've done a couple of gigs together since that have been amazing, but when I started in Birmingham, they were kind of at the same sort of level as me and doing the same sort of gigs. So just good times, good car shares, service stations, Mackies, all that. I'd love for those days to return.
Make a return.
Yeah. And Kieran Ahern as well, who was the other guy, did stand up that was great, just really good stuff. But he might do stand up again, but I don't think he's as interested in it at the moment.
No.
And then also just anyone that's, I don't know what this. I was thinking, what's the logic of this question? Does that include dead people? Dead people don't do. Like, I'd love to see more Norm Macdonald material. Yeah. He obviously doesn't do it anymore due to being deceased. But it's sometimes sad. You see all those clips of him being amazing on talk shows, and you're like, like if there's like a new news story or something, I'd love if he was on a talk show.
Yeah.
With the latest scandal, what's he saying about P. Diddy or something like that? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
he would have an angle on Trump. Phoning
he
up
would,
about
yeah.
He'd be great. He'd be so good.
Exactly. Yeah. Just missing angles from people. Like, knowing someone has like a very distinctive comedic voice, you can almost sort of generate their opinion in your head, but you want to see the. My
problem at the moment with a lot of like what you call reaction videos or whatever, or topical videos, and they're doing some are doing unbelievable numbers. I find the angle so basic. It's sort of thing that like your dad's mate would come up with, and then it's got like 1 million views. Yeah. I'm like, we've all got to do better than this, surely.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I think there's, like speed is rated higher. Well, because it's topical, I guess. But if you're just one of the first people on the internet to say something about,
so I've not seen a Trump Balogun reaction video, but let's say the most obvious thing is, don't he have other phone calls to be making? He's the president,
Yeah.
But like again, that's that Uncle Keith level. But because someone got it out quickly, I mean, 112,000 likes. What the fuck? Whereas that, we do miss Norm would have the. I mean, God, I wish. I'm sat here grousing. I wish I had the Norm level angle. But Norm would come up with a take, and you'd be like, "Oh, so good,"
Yeah.
Bill Burr pre-Riyadh, when he wasn't damaged by Riyadh.
Pre-Riyadh,
I used to look forward to Bill Burr's takes on things, and now he's pissed on his fucking chips.
Yeah, he has a bit, hasn't? But I like him still. But
I think he can get it back. But if you heard Bill's, did you hear him on Conan when Conan had him on after Riyadh?
No.
Oh God! Everyone's fault but his own. Oh, it's better. People react to that because of bots and Sonam Movsesian. God bless her, she's great, but she's guffawing at everything, and you're like, I found it a bad. I love Burr, I love Conan, I love it, but it's. I think Bill Burr's got to sort of go away, lick his wounds, and he's got to come back better than ever, really.
Yeah, it was mad that because all the people that did that, it's like you're all so rich already.
But a lot of those guys who were doing it, you sort of like, well, yeah, I would have guessed that you were doing it because
yes.
But with the way, because with Bill Burr, we're all invested in him. We love him so much, and he means so much to us, and has done for so many years. and so it's sort of like this feeling of disappointment. This is a guy that has socked it to billionaires in the past, and then you see him. Oh, not. It was sort of this feeling of like, oh, not you, Bill. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is sad. On Norm, I saw, which is maybe more about the advice question. Maybe this is a really obvious statement, but I saw a clip of him talking about like how stand-up is either making uh silly things really serious or serious things like really silly, and I thought that's such a good pull. I mean, that's maybe obvious when you think about it, but I think he goes down more that angle of making like a serious thing really dumb, which I think would how he would react to things rather than like.
I must send you a video. Someone's done like an AI animation of Norm Macdonald's friendship with Sam Kinison, and they talk about this. And
Yes, I think I think that's where I've got it from. Yeah, I've
and
forgotten where
their genius was taking a huge thing and making it. And Kevin Bridges has got it. Kevin Bridges, he's got the same thing. He will take a really serious geopolitical issue and bring it back to the most, a really clever, maybe a joke, something to do with sport or something like that. Yeah. What was this thing about sectarianism is a winter sport, something like that? You know, Kevin's got that Norm Macdonald level superpower. You know,
I do. I think in that he says like that's better than the other way, but I actually think both are equally good. I think taking something really small, like being annoyed at I don't know something that happens to you at a cafe and making it huge is really funny as well.
I agree completely. I agree. Whereas that video says, "Oh no, this way is better."
Yeah.
But I like watching, say, a McIntyre.
Yeah.
You know, I love seeing him lose his rag over, the slightest thing in life. That's great comedy.
Exactly.
It's great comedy.
Widdicombe's routine about the wedding service. In fact, that's as good as observational comedy gets.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen it, but
it's amazing. Yeah, when you're at a wedding and one of the first things you do, you get the order of service and you counting how many pages to work out how long it's going to be. I mean, he's got like 10-15 minutes just on weddings, and it is it's fucking great.
Fantastic. What is a bit or a joke that you've retired that you secretly miss doing?
Yes, I was thinking about this when I saw this question. I was like cringing because I'm like, this was when I was thinking of the Sol Campbell thing. I'm like, this is like I have to make it sound like I used to be really good or something. Or like, oh, wasn't this bit good? And then I was thinking one bit, but the bit I've come to, which I don't even think was like maybe good, or maybe it wasn't even that original. But I'm just like that thing of take me back to the days of the car shares with good kids and the McDonald's. Just thinking about earlier gigs, I used to come on full tracksuit. I used to wear a Premier League medal, a replica medal that I bought outside Old Trafford once. I used to come on with a stuffed tiger, which is you can't really see it because my background, but it's still in my bedroom. A huge stuffed tiger, and really all it was for was like visual impact because my stuff is like, especially at the start, not that I've improved at my stagecraft a lot, which it might not even seem like that if you see me, but it was even more looking at the floor and like all self-deprecating. So I just think something that's like a bit weird, it made people pay attention in clubs. And the joke was just that at the end, someone would normally ask about it, and I'd say, "Oh, I'm doing a character tonight that's like the character is just me, but it turns out I won the Premier League back in 2007." And then people would be like, "What about the tiger?" And I'd be like, "Well, normally players have a mascot. Usually it's a little boy, but I thought that'd be weird, so I've gone down the tiger route today." And then it was just like two gags, but I think it set off like, and probably not even that good gags, but just added an intrigue when I got on stage, which I think helped. Maybe it was a bit of a crutch in those early gigs. So I kind of miss thinking about that era of carrying around a big tiger.
I remember seeing the clips of you wearing a medal and stuff. It's funny.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Which peer's joke or bit do you wish you had written?
Again, I've got a couple. One, I don't know if this person ever did this as a routine outside of a new material gig. I saw them do it once, and maybe, do you ever think maybe I just like a joke way more than anyone else?
Yeah.
And like, because I told him I like this joke. It was Josh Pugh. Um, it was a bit about, when someone's like dies at quite like an old age, maybe gets to their 90s, maybe gets to 100, and people will say to the family, "Oh, he had a great innings." But when like a 14-year-old dies in a car crash, no one goes up to the parents and says, "What a terrible batsman." Maybe it's too dark. Maybe he dropped it because it's maybe slightly out of character dark for him. But it's
that'd be definitely why he's dropped it. But it's so funny. It's such a joke for other comedians to enjoy at a new material gig, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's never going to take that on tour.
Yeah. No, I know. But what I like about, because I'm not like, oh, I like edgy, offensive stuff all the time. I like it because it's actually ultimately silly. I think he's taken a big thing and made it really small. He's taken death and just reduced it down
to cricket.
Yeah.
He's. I think the three of us are all members of the Josh P fan club, right?
Yeah.
Oh, massively. Yeah.
I mean, this new tour that he's got, Ha Ha Yeah Sound. He did a preview last week, and there's so many new bits, but I know the bits that he's dropped. Now the bits that he's dropped, I won't do them just in case they make it back in.
There's another joke by Jamie. Do you know Jamie D'Souza?
Yeah.
This joke. I think it's in the show he did last year at the Fringe. He has a bit. I'm probably gonna mess it up. He has a bit where he's talking about school, and he goes, "I was in bottom set for sex ed." I was that kid at the back of the class going, "Miss, when are we actually going to use any of this stuff?"
Oh, that's
he's got so many. Really
That's great. That's so good. And that one's more of the question of what is it? Which did you wish you'd written? Because I'm like, that would suit my vibe as well. So like, I wish I had that. Yeah,
that's great.
What is the weirdest way you've made money to supplement comedy?
Yeah, I've not had a lot of weird ways. One thing I did a couple of times, I was a dodgeball referee for. Do you know Andy Stedman? He's like a promoter.
I do actually. Yeah.
He runs some sort of dodgeball company for but it's like, I think primarily marketed like stag and hen do's. Right. So I refed a couple in, because he had a couple that went on in Birmingham at school halls, and a stag do would turn up, and I'd ref and organise it and explain the games, and I feel like I wasn't really the right booking for that, because you imagine a comedian doing that, it's more like James or someone, a good MC and host, a kind of
it needs a warm up
banter, a warm up. Yeah, I'm a deadpan, low energy, self-deprecating comedian. I mean, I got through it, but that kind of thing with loads of laddie energy isn't my thing. I would have loved to play dodgeball. It went fine, but I didn't have any super weird. I saw on the on the kind of example about. I mean, I know you've obviously already talked about it. What, Jacob Hawley sold his socks? Is that what was that one?
Yeah, it's like a foot fetishist had seen him on the Russell Howard Hour or something.
Yeah,
and had reached out and got in touch. Oh, can I buy? Was it just his socks, or was it pictures of his feet as well?
But he certainly bought trainers as well as socks.
And Jacob says he made more money from selling the socks or something than he'd made from the appearance. Now, bear in mind that was on Sky, and Sky's cheddar's pretty good.
Wow.
It must.
I wouldn't even know how to go into that negotiation. Maybe the person offered an amount first. I wouldn't. Why did he not lowball?
Maybe did. Maybe Jacob's missing out.
Yeah.
I think Jacob. Yeah, I don't know. It's his life. It's not for me to say. I think he was doing it until quite recently. I think he's made a lot of money from it.
Oh, really? Fair play to him.
Yeah, God, absolutely.
What was your job before stand-up, Eric?
Maths, a teaching assistant. mainly, and then cover supervising, which is supply teaching essentially, maths tutoring, privately online, which I did up until a couple of years ago. Really, do stand up full time now, but I was thinking recently might do some more tutoring again. You're like,
there's loads of comedians that have gone back to juggling an extra.
Well, no, that's the thing. I was like, because I used to think I'm sort of getting a bit not jaded. I really like doing the fringe. Really, really love being creative. Love gigs like your gigs, but I'm like, these sort of club gigs. Now I'm doing it full time. These circuit gigs I do at the weekend. Are they actually making me any better at comedy, or are they just making me like reinforce like bad habits, or like, would it be better to just do nice gigs? But then some people have the opinion they're like, you've got to be on the coal face doing it all, which I kind of had that a bit. Or you've got to be able to make any type of gig laugh. And sometimes I'm like, that might actually be bullshit artistically. Maybe it's better to.
I think because we had a comedian say to us that they were worried that it was doing was turning them into a clubby comedian. But I do think it's just great to have those skills for when you need
the
them.
Gears. Yeah, I agree that like you want to be. Well, it depends on your acts. Again, some people are very different, but being sharp and making sure every punchline lands is important. But some you turn up to and you're like, these people don't care that they're even at a comedy night. Like, so it's like, what? Maybe that is good to win them over. I don't know. I turn it over in my head.
I emceed this charity gig last night, and I couldn't tell you the last time I emceed a gig that wasn't. So I do a lot of TV warm up, which I do play it like not a million miles away from our AMC, really. But that was the first time I'd emceed a gig that wasn't ABC for ages, and I'm sort of just trying to make my own point, I suppose. But
yeah,
it was great to, dare I say it, hang on, how do I phrase this without wanting to punch myself in the face? Yeah. Have fun in a totally different environment, and you're grateful to have those skills. So I think, Eric, for just my opinion, I think it's good to
really
keep doing that. Yeah,
really.
What I'd say, I used to work for a very sort of weekendy clubby gig. What I found, they would book like a mix of like proper clubby circuit acts and then like quite fringy acts at the same time. And I found the fringe acts they'd become much better comedians from doing gigs like that. And there are some clubby acts who I think maybe really, really start phoning it in because they'd get so many bookings from this place. So I think
that is so, Tim. That is, I know. I mean, we could name names. I know exactly who you're talking about. So as long as you're self-aware enough that we're having this conversation, but there were some acts where if they could have pressed play on a hologram of their 20, they would have.
Yes, true. Yeah.
Whereas that say like Nish Kumar, who I picked because he's one of my absolute all-time favorites. He would do these sorts of gigs, but was always challenging himself. So he's doing the bits that he knows works. But Sarah Pascoe does this, or certainly did this back then. There's always 5 in the middle that's new to keep it fresh for them, rather than like pulling the string out the back.
Me.
Yeah.
No, this is good. I guess maybe it's the volume. What volume should you do of them?
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously it depends on money when you're like doing it full time. Like, is it a keep your toe in kind of thing, or is it? Because right now, I'd say I mean, maybe this is a dumb thing to say because maybe everyone would do like better at your type of gigs, but the gigs that I probably like would do best at are like your gig, or like Moth Club, and like the trendier ones maybe. But 90% of my gigs are like the weekend circuit gigs, and I'm like. So it's like, am I doing only 10% of gigs to the type of crowd I actually want? Is that is that bad? I don't know.
But also as a gigging comedian, like I fully appreciate like that is the bread and butter of a lot of comedians. Like they'll need to do sort of weekend gigs in front of audiences who aren't necessarily fully on board. And like, maybe it's very... I don't know, but I'm aware that these proper like weekend club gigs, they really are important, like serve a purpose and stuff. But
Yeah.
I basically we know what we all mean.
The comedian who said this to us, I think they're a much better comedian for it.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Do you want
No, I'm
bit?
interested. Yeah, I'd be interested in the bit. I'm really interested in this discussion. I don't know how.
I'll say the name and beep it if you want.
Yeah.
Was the one that had expressed. I'm worried that I think that this particular comedian has gone up several levels because of doing this.
Having to do. Yeah.
I actually think they've found their voice.
Really?
Yeah,
I really do.
agree completely.
I really do.
And like, for example, Ahir Shah did the gig I was talking about a lot, and he's so much more like reliable now, and he's got like a proper weekend set, but you can put them on in front of everyone.
What about?
That's a great example. Edinburgh winner, but knows when to play it clubby. Knows when to. One for them, one for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Lovely.
That. What about? Maybe this person would do great at the sort of genius level. Does it matter? Like Sam Campbell, I think he might. I think he's like the greatest, but I feel like I don't know if the club circuit would be suited to him, but it doesn't make it any worse.
I'm with you. I think the three of us would all agree, special talent.
Yeah.
Like maybe
He would not thank us for this praise, I don't think.
No, I know, but I could see
what I mean is,
especially like before he was known, maybe I could see him going like very 50-50 at clubs where and people are like, what's that? I could see him like smashing a weekend club as well, but I could also see that a few times people would go, what the fuck's.
I think that's how you cultivate a following. Whereas I'm Mr. I just want the gig to go well in the here and now. As the MC, I want it to go great. Whereas let's say Harry Hill, and again I'm picking him. We all love Harry Hill. When Harry Hill's coming through, he's not going to be for every person every time when he's doing the club gigs. But when you see Harry Hill, you're either this isn't my cup of tea, or you are. Whoever this guy is, I want everything. He's 10 out of 10 my cup of tea, and then by doing those gigs night after night after night after night, some people are going meh, whereas some people are going, I will follow this guy till the ends of the earth. And maybe Sam's got that. Eric, you will have that as well. What I mean by that is because you've got your own thing going on. That is how you build up followings for tours, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well,
I think Sam has so many like jokes that I think everyone must be on board with. Like, I don't know. I think he's properly like up there as like the best at the moment.
Agreed.
For me,
yeah.
He did. There's a preview of one show of his. He did at ours, and I told him this afterwards. While he did this particular bit, the voice in my head went, "This is what comedy can be." You know, when you feel like someone's moving the dial.
Yes, yeah.
And I felt when I was watching this show, I was like, I can feel the dial like.
That's amazing.
Final question. Best advice, perhaps from another comedian or something you've learned you'd like to share.
I was thinking about the other day. Do you remember the? I don't know if this is on a big delay, so football references are annoying. But the Congo game. Harry Kane, maybe it was Panama. I think it was the Congo game. Harry Kane said about pounding the rock. Did you see that interview?
No.
And then Tuchel said it. He said our goal at the start, we just knew we had to keep pounding that rock. I really like that as a metaphor. Maybe it just maybe it just sounds dumb. And Tuchel said it. The goal today was just keep pounding that rock. I was thinking about that with writing my Fringe show, and just like that frustrate. I feel like the Fringe show that I want to write is playing a low block against me. Do you know what I mean? And I've just got to keep pounding that rock. Keep finding strikes. Keep passing it around. Keep writing.
So it's people in art say that with say a sculpture.
Yeah,
and this is a really wanky thing to say, but this ties into pounding the rock. So the work of art is apparently in it, and you've got to find it. You've got to chisel until it's there.
Yeah.
And so that there's a lot in that. So you keep pounding that rock, and then you've got that beautiful fringe show, and the winner is Eric Rushton. I want to thank Tim and James, because when I was talking about pounding a rock, and hey guys, look, your boy made a beautiful statue.
I saw bringing it back to the streets theme. I saw a good clip, which may be seen because a lot of people got shared quite widely, of
when he's chatting off stage.
That one's great.
I mean, that is insane.
Where he comes on and then he walks on. Is that where he's asleep and then he walks on?
Is he on ecstasy?
Oh no! Oh, that's a different. I've seen that clip as well. Where he's
you know what I mean?
Peter
Yeah. Well, the thing is, a new day, a new money. You know, it's just.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of clips.
Hang on.
There's one where he's on.
I'm not saying he's on ecstasy. He's not on ecstasy. Let me just be clear.
He may be on ecstasy.
I mean, the eyes have it.
He was on the Tommy Tiernan show, I think, in Ireland, and there was a clip where we asking him about like his process, or does he have any like rules or philosophy? And one he says he gets paid to be. I don't think this is applicable to all comedians, but I quite like it. He gets paid to be embarrassed. And he says the whole thing is embarrassing, and then his like philosophy for writing is like it has to be embarrassing. And what that speaks to me is like those vulnerable, maybe because my shows that I'm writing now are more like personal. It's like not leaving out the thing that's like embarrassing in the story or something like that, because the reason you're doing it is why some other people don't want to do it is because you're being paid to like be that honest and be that vulnerable.
To be exposing.
Yeah, so it's like, remember that. Don't try to be cool or like be too clever with it, because that's what Tommy asked him. He goes, "How do you make sure you don't get too clever with it?" And he just goes, "It has to be embarrassing. It has to feel like it's embarrassing to do." And I don't think that's like one of those universal truths for like comedy. It maybe just like speaks to me a little bit.
I think that is probably a universal truth. You know.
Yeah.
Who was the dramaturge, Tim? The late great
Adam Brace.
Adam Brace. And what was his thing, Tim? Basically, like, you've got to be prepared to die or something like that. You've got to be prepared to...
it was sort of like...
Oh, I like that.
You shouldn't have 100% good gig record, because that just shows you're not sort of pushing yourself and not trying to better yourself as a artist or creative or whatever.
I think that about like...
That hot flush of shame when you try a new bit that doesn't land. But that's part of the...
Exactly. And like Tom's stuff, Tom who I mentioned earlier, Tom Towlin, I don't know if he would feel embarrassed, but he can do some of those, you know, like I said, he'd pick up a bin bag or something and do something with that. One time, the first time he does that, or maybe even after it's gone well once, the audience might be like, what is he doing? And you're really vulnerable. You put yourself in a really potentially embarrassing position of me going, I think this is genius, this is funny what I'm doing with this bin bag, but you're all looking at me like I'm an idiot. It's like... But to be able to take that risk means you'll find out that it's funny to sing "It's God Saves the King" in with a loop pedal and you know. I
do. You're right.
So yeah, maybe taking risks is a big thing. And another thing I've written down: Matthew Crosby. I'm sure you know and love him. Hopefully,
love Crosses.
He's like directed my last couple of fringe shows, and his advice is more look like you're enjoying it. It's more performance, because maybe I'm like more of a writer, I don't know, but he's always like, make sure you're in it, give it your all, give it 100% and stuff like that. So I think having that, because then sometimes I'm a bit like, well, isn't that the act that I'm like a bit deadpan? But he's like, yeah, but you giving 100% doesn't look like Michael McIntyre. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
well, like Jack D, the curmudgeon.
Yeah,
we all know that he's always given 100%.
Yeah, you've got to own it.
But he's not moving around like. Yeah, it's not a great example actually, because Jack probably is more physical than people realise, and he's no stranger to an act out. But let's say that his 100% doesn't look the same as say Lee Evans's 100%. You know,
it's like almost like completely owning what you do with complete confidence.
Yes, very good.
But you know, I also like the film. Have you seen Jiro Dreams of Sushi?
Yeah, how about?
I was thinking of that guy, which may be extreme, but I sometimes think I want to be like that guy. Just care about my craft. Be like love it so much that when I'm like 90, I'm still trying to figure out a new thing.
If anyone's not seen it, it's fantastic, and there's just having complete confidence in even like when they're like at the fishmonger, because the quality of the sushi obviously has to be amazing to do what they're doing. There's a bit where they chop up this. I mean, it's essentially a slither, but they know that when the guy tastes it, he knows that is the real deal.
Yeah, that's like you pick an axe for your gig. You go to the fish market of the comedy circuit, and you're like, nah, that's not proper tuna, man. That's
We've all had that with the take. It's happened to us, our local Vietnamese. The last 2 times we've used it, it's not the same. This, and then we're at a picnic with some mates the other day. New ownership. Me and my wife fucking knew it. Tim, you'd love Hero Dreams of. Hang on, what's it called? Hero Dreams of Sushi.
Juro Dreams of Sushi.
Juro Dreams of Sushi.
No, maybe you're saying it right.
No, you're right. I'm
J-I-R-O.
wrong. It's because one of the local there's a sushi place in Penge called Hero, and it's not Hero Dreams of Sushi. You're right, but it's set in this tiny little sushi restaurant. I mean, it's a borderline cupboard, isn't it, compared to what you might be thinking in your mind?
Oh, they only have. Was it 12 customers at a time or less?
Something like that.
Yeah, and you have to wait like a year to get a reservation, and
the wait is insane because the quality is so good. It sort of speaks for itself. Yeah, you're right about the picking. Yeah, there is a bit of that.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, you've reminded Tim and me we need to Eric Rushton at Always Be Comedy, so we'll sort that. Should we? Is email direct best or through Chambers? Don't mind either way.
Either way is fine for me, really.
To the listener, welcome to How We Book at Always Be Comedy. How it goes.
Maybe both. No, it's both annoying.
A lot of it is done on WhatsApp. Generally, you know what I mean?
If it's easier for you to just text and stuff like that.
No.
Fine, yeah.
Sorry, that was for the listener. I watched an interview with Paul Scholes, and Paul Scholes was saying that when football transfers are done, people assume that it's like a phalanx of 20 guys in suits, and they're boarding a private jet, and they're meeting in a warehouse, and it's tables, and there's maybe like a big black the deal is comfort, and the reality is could we buy, texting, could we buy such and such? Yep, done. Or it's a lot more low rent than people realise.
Wow.
Oh, in terms of All or Nothing, there was that Leeds United documentary where Dan James, it works out well in the end because he does end up at Leeds, but Dan James travels to Ellen Road.
Yeah.
And he's on the documentary, and the fax doesn't come through in time.
Yeah.
Deal doesn't go through.
That's what happened with De Gea to Madrid as well. David De Gea.
Really?
When he was at his peak, yeah. So then he still had good years at United after that, but he was going to join Madrid, and a fax didn't go through before the deadline or something.
Can you believe that in 21st century?
Yeah.
Transfer's not happening because a fax didn't go through.
Yeah, it's mad.
Man.
Right.
Maybe go through Frankie. I'm just thinking. I like
Frankie's
direct.
great.
Yeah, I just think I'm sometimes bad, or like because I know you. I think this maybe happened last time. I think you went direct and you're like booking within a certain window, and then I didn't respond for like a couple of hours. And you didn't.
We are bad for that. I'll tell you why. Because
that's me being empathetic to you, as in like I'm like, oh, I know you're sorting it all now, and then I'll not reply, and then it's like, well, it's my fault. So,
if I've got a finite amount of booking time, I might have an hour window before school, and I've got to book someone. Sometimes I'm like, I need this book now. Because we'll have an act reply, I'm not even joking, like a week later, oh yeah, I can do that. You're like, are you insane?
That's it. I think I can be like that. So I think Frankie's more reliable probably for a quick, he's free then or whatever.
Frankie's on it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Comedy needs more Frankies.
Absolutely. Shout out Frankie from Chambers.
Shout out Frankie from Chambers. Tim, there's the clip for Frankie. Eric, a real pleasure. While you were talking, I'll be honest with you, there was a little part of me that was like, if Tim and I had more hours in the day, we would do a different weekly podcast with Eric Rushton.
Oh, that's so very kind of
you. I think I might have said similar last time, because the vibe with the three of us, I think
this makes me feel good.
First time
after the Sol Campbell
co-hosted was on the Eric Rushton first episode.
Oh yeah, I remember. Why is that? What were you doing before? Did you just?
I would I would sit down, camera off, microphone off, listen, see if anything
Masturbate.
needed to be.
Sorry, James, come on.
Get involved. It's a group hangout.
The pod is so much better for Timo.
Well,
it's not when Liverpool. Bob Paisley was behind the scenes at Liverpool, and then they made him manager. Yeah. He won 3 European Cups.
But do you worry about a power struggle if Tim takes over?
Do I worry about the power? You know what? It would be in the safest of hands.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice?
Wow!
Isn't that nice?
What a lovely end.
Live in Edinburgh.
I sort of made myself sad because I was thinking of what happened with Bill Shankly and Bob. Basically, Bill Shankly, who is like my absolute hero. I've even read the David Peace book, Red or Dead. Great book. But anyway, Bill Shankly, I think he wakes up one day and he's like, "That's it. I'm leaving Liverpool." So he announces his retirement. I'm quitting. Paisley takes over, and then I think a few days. This is why you should always sleep on it. I think a few days later, Shankly has like this "What have I done?" moment, and he's like walking his dog at the training ground.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then I think in the end, someone at Liverpool has to have a word and be like, "Bill, Bob's manager now," and so you've sort of got to.
That's really sad.
You've got to let Bob be Bob, and that's why United fans sing "You Broke Shankly's Heart." That's why United fans sing that at Liverpool fans. You broke Shankly's heart.
That's so sad.
And it's a sad story.
He should have said that. Did he just... Because Fergie basically did that in 2002, was it? But then he reversed his retirement.
But it was too late. They'd already made Paisley manager. Shankly never won the European Cup, and then Paisley wins it 3 times.
So
Shankly's the guy that revolutionised the club. He's the one that, if you hear him talking, I'll overshare with you if you like.
Yeah.
So when I hear Bill Shankly speak, you might be atheist. When Shankly speaks, I think I hear something divine. I think there's something more going on with that guy.
I love that. I'm into this stuff.
I raised this with hang on, how do I not name a name? I raised this with someone I know who's got a connection to the Shankly dynasty.
Right.
And I said, when I hear Shankly speak, I think I hear almost like the voice of God. And this person did like a double take. And they went, "What did you say?" And I repeated it. And the Shankly wives, the wives of the Liverpool players, they all thought privately that they thought there was something holy about Bill Shankly.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
And then I think Fergie, apparently, he would listen to, back in the day, would listen to Shankly tapes and stuff because there's something
I'm gonna have a listen.
spiritual about the guy,
See if I've got that as well.
Have you ever heard his speech about natural enthusiasm?
No,
mate.
I'm
going to send you the clip.
Send it me, yeah.
Bill Shankly talks about natural enthusiasm and how it's the greatest attribute a human being can have.
That is really
natural.
That's true.
Enthusiasm. That's how he says it. And he says something like, "Some players, they're not giving 100%. I would throw them in jail. I'd throw them in jail if I could. Natural enthusiasm. It's the greatest quality a player can have." Yeah, love him. Right, I better go. My wife's calling. My Bill Shankly's calling. Take care, guy. Eric, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Lots of love. Eric. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Huge and heartfelt thanks to Eric Rushton. Tim, I was meant to say this. This is quite self-indulgent, but I've talked about the Nicky Butt Paul Scholes podcast on this podcast before, and I must give thanks to Joe Wilkinson, who was on as a guest recently. And if you get to about 1 hour, 1 minute in, Joe Wilkinson very kindly, they talk at quite considerable length, at my expense, but it's fine, about my love of the show. It was very sweet of Joe to do that.
It's truly wholesome stuff. It's really lovely. It's very, very nice of him to do it. And I'm going to say approved by Scholesy and Nicky Butt and Paddy McGuinness, crucially.
It was lovely. But at one point they say, "You should have brought him on." It wasn't at my expense. It was all very warm. I'm trying to downplay it.
So
but But Paul Scholes says, you should have brought him with you. And Joe Wilkinson said he would have burst into tears. And some of the comments on YouTube were saying, like, oh, you could have gone. And I said, no, Joe is correct. I would have. I would have burst.
Man.
I would have burst into tears.
I'm going to say the door is open. It's not for me to say. It's not my podcast. The door is potentially open.
No, I mean, if you work as security on that show, it's best that I don't go, because I would I'd make a fool of myself. We didn't. Also, there's an Abandoman work in progress. Sorry, 30th of July, Abandoman, arguably the best live act
Banger.
working today. Right, Timo, your favourite? No, it's not. It's what we learned from that podcast.
What did we learn?
What did we learn?
It's a big question. I found very moving him talking about the dartboard his mum got him, how he was sort of like, she doesn't know me at all, and then him talking about it chilling him out. I thought was really lovely. I thought that was nice stuff.
Yes, you can. There's a poetry and a depth to Eric Rushton.
Yeah,
I think I learned that he's even more of a deflecty boy than I thought he was.
Yeah.
He's somehow even more self-deprecating. That's it. I think what I learned, Tim, is just how far self-deprecation goes with us two at Always Be Comedy.
Oh my God, absolutely.
When a comedian, or indeed any human, is braggy McGee, I find it such a turn-off.
We will occasionally share a look.
We will share a look.
Yeah.
As if to say, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. I can remember a very, very, very specific one.
I'm thinking of the exact same.
Yeah, we of course we are. Anyway, we can't say, and we won't.
I had to physically walk away. Do you think when somebody's bragging so much, you sort of have to feel for them a bit?
There has to be a reason this is happening, yeah, and it's not just they think we're brilliant. I don't think it's that. Yeah, I agree.
Harry Hill is never bragging.
No.
Do you know what I mean? What I mean is, I picked Harry Hill because he might be the best. So if you're apparently Robert Plant, the lead singer of Led Zeppelin, is a lovely, unassuming guy. Because I think if you're at ease with your own genius or brilliance, you don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're constantly telling people how brilliant you are, then what's going on there?
Oh, yeah, I know.
I was on this chat with Al Murray. It was Al Murray that told me about Robert, because I told Al my theory.
Yeah.
And then Al immediately brought up Robert Plant, and he said that fits the same theory.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because if you met Robert Plant, you'd think he was just some affable Wolves fan, which he is.
Yeah.
But you would never think he's one of the most iconic rock stars in the history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I learned from Eric. You wouldn't know that Eric is one of the most critically adored by his peers. Yeah. One of the truly exciting stand-ups of this generation.
Lovely.
So listen to that episode. Good Lord, you would never. Even now that we're telling you this, if you didn't know this, you wouldn't have known it from listening to Eric. Yeah. How's that?
Yeah. Oh, bang on. Absolutely bang on.
Thank you very much as always. Big thanks to Eric. Thanks to everyone who made it happen. Very grateful. Love Eric enormously. Amanda, thank you. When we say everyone, Amanda, been a good friend for about 15 years. Anyway, take care. We will speak soon. Lots of love. Bye.